Am I the a-hole? Health edition. Am I the a-hole for exposing my sister's fake cancer to our parents after she refused to come clean herself? I, 34, female, just found out that my sister, 31, who has been telling my whole family she has cancer for the last 8 months, has been lying. She shaved her head, said she was doing chemo, and had our parents move in to help her through treatment. I started to have doubts when, besides also staying out late relatively frequently, she would never let anyone attend appointments with her, and she clearly had way too much energy for someone going through aggressive chemotherapy. Last week, I ran into the office manager of my sister's oncologist at a coffee shop. I casually mentioned my sister, and the office manager was confused. She had no idea who I was talking about. I did some digging through doctors and spoke to my sister about what I learned, and she broke down and spilled her guts. It turns out she fabricated the whole story because she was in over her head with debt and wasn't able to afford her apartment anymore. The cancer story got her parents to move in, and she could then stop paying her bills. I was furious and told her that she had 24 hours to tell our parents the truth, or I would. She asked me not to tell them because it would ruin her relationship with them. She did not tell them, so yesterday, I took everything to our parents. Our parents are heartbroken. My sister is acting like I had no right to out her to our parents. She was planning on staging a miraculous recovery next month. She said I ruined her life, and that family should be trying to defend each other rather than expose each other. Am I the a-hole? Top comments. Comment 1. Putting your parents through the agony of thinking you have cancer and making them pay for your apartment when their money needs to start going to their retirement fund is sick. You're not the a-hole, but your sister is a big one. Comment 2. Not the a-hole. Oh my God, why do people do this? Why do people fake illnesses? Her reasoning, just to use her parents for their money, is absolutely diabolical. I hope they sue her to recoup anything they've paid to help her. Comment 3. Your sister needs mental help. This is not only beyond horrific to do to your parents. I saw my parents go through it with my sister's brain cancer, and it destroyed them in the inside, but it's beyond disturbing. Pathological liar is what comes to mind. A normal person would probably find another job, find another place, move back in with parents, or get a roommate. The only thing she came up with was cancer. That says a lot about her. She deserves everything she's going through, but I do hope she gets the help she needs. Don't regret what you did. Someone had to stop the manipulation and lying. When she matures, she'll realize what you did is what was needed for it to stop. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for accusing my mother-in-law of faking being hospitalized and refusing to let her stay with us? My husband is 57 and I am 49. My mother-in-law is 81. She used to be very independent, but since my father-in-law passed away a few years ago, her health has been declining. She can walk and take care of herself. She's just more fragile. Being perfectly honest, she never used to be easy to get along with, and my husband agrees. But anyway, that's all right. I didn't have much contact with her, and she had her own life. My husband visited her maybe once every few months because we live very close to her, about half an hour. Recently, though, she has been wanting him to visit more often, and she gets upset when she isn't invited to things we are doing. For example, we recently went on a trip to celebrate my husband's birthday, and he didn't want to bring her as it would really limit the sorts of activities we could do. She insisted we should have gone on a chill trip and brought her along. Last week, we had gone to visit my family. My mother-in-law called my husband and said she was really sick and that she was admitted to the hospital. My husband obviously panicked, and we both took a flight that evening back home to see what was wrong. It turned out she was totally fine and apparently had a mild cold. We spoke to the doctor, and she said my mother-in-law had said that she couldn't breathe, and when the doctor said she could go home, she insisted on being admitted. I told my husband it sounds like she just wanted to be admitted so he would come back to check on her. He was appalled, but later on agreed that it did kind of make sense and sound like something she would do. She wants to stay with us now because she is, quote-unquote, sick. I said no. She is faking it, and I don't want to deal with her all day. My husband thinks I'm being a selfish asshole. Top comments. Comment 1. You're the a-hole. Your mother-in-law sounds like a desperately lonely old woman trying to spend time with her son. He lives 30 minutes away, and yet can only manage to see her a few times a year? Not acceptable. He needs to step it up and look after his mother. Comment 2. She sounds like my mom. We thought she was faking things, but it was the beginning of dementia. I wish I had given her the attention she wanted. Looking back, it would have been such a small thing to do to show her that I cared. She had also lost someone right before, so she also felt a loneliness she wasn't really able to speak about. I was the a-hole back then, and now you're being the a-hole too. Comment 3. She's elderly, has lost her husband, and has probably never lived alone before. This was my mother a few years ago. She kept saying she was fine until she wasn't. She moved into a retirement home, and now she is much happier. She has no bills to worry about. She comes and goes as she pleases, has her new and old friends, and she's not lonely. And there is medical attention if she needs it. Stop being the a-hole and help your husband find a similar solution if you don't want your mother-in-law to move in with you. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for pointing out my girlfriend seemed to milk her fibromyalgia? My girlfriend Jenny, 26, female, and I, 30 male, have been together for a year. She moved in with me about 6 months ago, partially because she had nowhere else to go, but we're living happily together most days. Jenny suffers from a condition called fibromyalgia. It's a really complicated condition that even doctors do not understand all that well, but from what I've researched as a layman, it's a generalized pain condition. It makes it hard for Jenny to hold down a job, but I legitimately used to believe that she at least tried. I know I'm already going to sound like an asshole with this, but I believe at this point, Jenny is milking it. It isn't that she isn't able to work, or she isn't able to do the dishes most days. It's often about what she is able to do. For example, before the weekend, Jenny had a job interview for a position that was a really great opportunity. The job interview was mostly a formality because she was strongly recommended by her aunt for it. Jenny ended up canceling because of a fibromyalgia flare-up. 2 hours later, she went out to lunch with her friends in a perfectly fine mood. When she got home, I asked if she could wash the dishes she left in the sink. She said her fibromyalgia was flaring up again and she needed to lay down. I washed a mountain of dishes by myself. Later, Jenny came out to watch one of her favorite TV shows. I asked how she was feeling, and she said she was fine after resting. I then pointed out that her fibromyalgia, sure, seems to calm down before things she wants to do, and then flare up again before things she doesn't want to do. Jenny stood up without a word, walked to the bedroom, and locked the door. I've seen her about 3 times since, and she doesn't have a word for me. If her behavior with the interview, lunch with friends, being unable to do the dishes, and then wanting to watch TV were a one-off thing, I'd get it. But this happens all the time. More examples. Jenny loves concerts. I have never heard of a flare-up before one. She's always good to go to a concert. Jenny has never had a flare-up before going out to dinner or going to see a movie. She has never said that she just couldn't make it. Jenny has constant flare-ups right before doing chores, or she uses them as an excuse to not do any housework. I feel like a monster, but I'm sadly really confident in my judgment here. Was my comment too direct? Am I the a-hole? Top comments. Comment 1. Not the a-hole. Hey, I'm a person who's had fibromyalgia for 10 years now. Flare-ups last a few hours to a few days. Speaking from personal experience, unless she has stellar pain medication, it's not going away to where you can jump up and have an afternoon out with the girls. If the fibromyalgia is legit, she should also have a specialist and a therapist to help her manage her condition. I have a physical therapist, a GP, and a pain specialist. But I didn't have insurance or specialists until I was deemed legally disabled, so I understand not everyone has access and did not want to imply such. It is not ableist of you if she is taking advantage and selecting when she has flare-ups. This condition gets a bad rap as it is, and I hate seeing people use it to be lazy or an a-hole. She may be gaslighting you, and it's not fair to use one's disability to excuse their shitty behavior. Let it be for the moment and keep a journal of when she has her flares and when she does not. This isn't a subject to bring up when you're frustrated or angry. I'm glad you've been patient in trying to understand her disability, as everyone's pain threshold is different, but I can tell you with certainty, it doesn't magically disappear when you want to do something fun. She would be missing out on things that interest her too. Comment 2. On one hand, stress is a well-known trigger for flare-ups. On the other hand, flare-ups typically last the entire day at the least. From the perspective of a medical professional, not the a-hole. Comment 3. I may be downvoted to the bottom of the list, but not the a-hole. She's pissed you called her out on it. My sister, who has the same condition, has flare-ups that often happen during holidays and when she's getting ready to go out, and she so will often either not go or come home early. So the chances of it always happening before chores and interviews, but not during fun stuff, shows that while she may have it, she's playing on it. Does she work now and pay her way? What did you think of these Reddit stories? Do you agree with the readers' verdicts? Leave your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We publish stories with new topics multiple times a week. From Reddit Stories Bonanza, we wish you an amazing week.